I'm Lane Jordan Verde, along with Dr. Lisa Burkhart-Worley, and welcome to Pop Talk. It's the show where you never know what topics might pop up. Today's guest will be speaking about how she survived a devastating scenario that we pray and hope none of us will ever have to go through. It's called genocide. She has a powerful story, and Lisa has the introduction.
Thank you, Lane. Yes, I am amazed by what our guest has survived. I met Providence Umugwaneza at the ISGAP Anti-Semitism Institute that I attended in August of 2024. She is a survivor of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsis in Rwanda. She was only 11 years old during the Rwandan Genocide that spanned 100 days. Can you believe that? Providence has shared her story with the United Nations, the Swedish Parliament, 3 of the 4 Holocaust museums in Texas, many churches and synagogues, and she told her story at the Anti-Semitism Institute that we both attended. Providence is also the founder of the Kabeho Niza initiative, and she now lives in Texas with her husband and their 3 children who we just met. They're adorable, and she advocates for women and girls who were infected with HIV or AIDS during the genocide. In 2021, Governor Greg Abbott appointed Providence to the Texas Holocaust, Genocide, and Anti-Semitism Advisory Commission, where she is very active in events across the state. Her book that she wrote is called Next Couple Hours. Well, welcome, Providence. I'm so happy to see you. I loved meeting you at the ISGAP Anti-Semitism Institute and hearing about your story. And it's taken us this long to get you on the show, but I'm glad you're here. And thank you for coming to be on Pop Talk. Can you start by giving us a little history lesson? What led to the mass murder of the Tutsis in Rwanda?
Well, first of all, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's an honor for me to be here. By the time I met Lisa, I didn't know she does this wonderful, job, and so proud of her, and I'm so honored to be here, as I said. Back to your question, the genocide against Tutsis in my country happened when I was 11 years old. I was visiting my aunt, and if I can focus on how the genocide started and what led to this genocide against Tutsi, because I was a kid, I was really young, I was 11 years old, and I understand that there was hatred going on from Hutu radicals towards Tutsis. So my parents and my uncles and my aunties, they already went through threats before because they were Tutsis. So I would say that there was a hatred going on for a long time. And by the time the airplane carrying the then president, President Habyarimana Juvenal at that time, when this plane got shot and everybody on board died, that was a trigger to start killing Tutsis. I was not home, I was visiting my aunt, and you understand that the genocide started when I was not home. I was supposed to stay where I was staying at that time, so I started to hide on that end, and my parents, went in the other way, and I didn't have a chance to see them until, everybody was killed, and they survived because I was in a place, in a location where nobody knew me.
Oh, I just can't even imagine the pain and the fear you had to go through. So you survived because you hid with your aunt and her children. So my question is, how long did you have to hide, and what was it like being in hiding?
We took a long time hiding, and it was really rough to hide, and you have to go stay in the bushes, you have to go hide in the swamps, and you try to hide everywhere you think they're not going to find you. Some Tutsis, will be found and be killed. Some of them will be thrown in the rivers, in the lakes, and you will see, Tutsi bodies floating on top of lakes and rivers. You will see, I was able to see little kids, neighbors, of my aunt's family, cut with a machete, laying on the ground, and I still had to, run for my life. So it was rough and it was scary, but it was a grace of God.
So you hid more outside. I'm thinking you're hiding in a home, but you're out in the bushes?
No, you can't hide in the home because you couldn't hide in the home because they'll come and find you.
Well, then what did you eat and drink? And how long were you hiding?
It was really hard to find something to eat, something to drink. You just have to go find somewhere to hide where you think they're not going to find you, because the Hutu radicals, they will come and find someone hiding in the house and they will set the house on fire. I don't even realize how I survived. I was a kid. It was really hard to hide, and I could mention that in the night when it's very dark, that's when you will start to breathe a little bit because they were taking, some time to rest. And when it was raining as well, that's when we would find some time to feel like fresh. When you're thirsty and it's raining on you, that's when, you can breathe again a little bit. And killers, they would take kind of a break during the rain, and right after, they'll come back and hunt Tutsis. And they were instructed to kill Tutsis, cutting them with a machete. And they would say if they ask to be shot, they have to pay to be shot. So you have to take them through the pain of killing them with the machete. So that was the death Tutsis had to witness.
So evil. I mean, it just sounds so evil. It reminds me of what happened with Hamas and Israel. I mean, it's just so similar. And I just can't even imagine what it was like for an 11-year-old girl to have to deal with the possibility of death and see so much death around you. Did you suffer from PTSD or anything like that? Or because you were young, was it better for you or not? I mean, did you think about that you might die when you were out there hiding for so long?
Yes, yeah, I thought about it, and because we were raised Christians, I was all the time praying, and I knew my parents and everybody in my family was killed, and I said, maybe when I die, I will go to heaven, maybe I will meet them, and I knew there was no way I was going to survive this, because it was intense, and it was, hatred was ravaging everything. I didn't know there was a chance of surviving, but I knew because I knew how to pray. I would say a little prayer in my heart, and I knew my parents, everybody that I knew was killed. I was waiting for me, for my time to come.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, you did lose both your parents because they went this way, you went that way. 5 of your siblings died, as well as extended family in this massacre. I can't even imagine what that must have been like coming out of that, losing that many family members, including your parents. As an 11-year-old girl, can you tell us about that stretch and how you dealt with that?
Yeah, it's hard when you lose everything you have in a minute, especially when you didn't see anything coming. Every time I went to sleep, I would think about them, and they come in my dreams. I'll ask them, oh, I was thinking you were dead. And in the morning when I wake up, I go back to my normal life. So it was really, really hard to go through everything without parents and without siblings, to start a new life, to start a fresh life, different location, different lifestyle. It was really, really rough, but because I would say I was instructed to pray and instructed to cling on my faith, I was able to go through it slow by slow until I realized that now that I can pray, maybe I can go through it. But of course, I went through PTSD, and I knew what we went through is really hard to explain, and I didn't know how to start to talk about this. It's now that I get courage and I feel responsible to share my story, to be a voice of those who can speak for themselves. But it's really hard, especially through this time when I have my own children as a parent. I know what parents had to go through. I know what children had to go through. So that's how I realized a rough, really hard situation did have to go through.
It's just awful. And you were 11 years old, as you mentioned. Well, of course, then when it was over, you were an orphan, but a surviving uncle found you and your sister. Now, where did you go after the genocide, and how did you view your uncle's actions?
Yes, yeah, that's, I think when I think of it, I feel like it's a miracle because I didn't know the genocide was going to be stopped at some point because I didn't know what was going on. All I knew I was doing was to hide.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, the genocide is stopped by RPF, the leadership on power today. And they say, you don't need to hide anymore. We're going to take care of you. Everything is going, to start afresh, and you're safe. So they took us to a camp, and my grandmother, my mother's mother, survived. So she was the only survivor because her children and my aunt, I think with my uncle, survived. So she had 2 children who survived, and me and my oldest sister who was hiding with her also survived. So she was to us at that moment like a parent we had, and she would hug us and she will cry, she will remember her children, she will remember her other grandchildren who were killed. But at that time, I was very much confused. And we spent 2 days with them. And one day after, I remember my uncle, my father's brother, he came to find us there. And he said, I know my brother's kids are here. I really would like to take them with me. Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yes,
because
thank you.
I feel like God took care of you in that way. He knew you needed a family, and he allowed him to find you. And you've got a family of your own now. You've got 3 kids, beautiful kids, and you've had a while to think about all this. And I know you've mentioned your faith in God. You're a Christian. How did your faith help you to get through this trauma? Because I can't even imagine going through the trauma that you went through. How have you relied on God?
It's really hard to go through this as parent, and my children, they all the time ask me, where are the aunts, where are the uncles? But because of a responsibility to be a parent, I know I had to, to do what I'm supposed to do as a parent, but also to remember my parents. So as a survivor, you all the time have, kind of a special responsibility to take care of your children, and you think, I'm going to give them things I didn't get in my life, and I'm going to take care of them, and they are number one healers of your life. So I really feel kind of blessed. I'm very blessed to have them, and I know if it wasn't them, I wouldn't be a person I am today. And I am really, really thankful for them. I know they can do the work we need to do, and we can be helped with them, and they push me to do much better because I know the world they are going to grow in is the world that I want, and they are going to be responsible, they are going to bring their impact in the community, and I'm supposed to do more than I'm supposed to do for them to live in a better world.
Have you shared your story with them yet? I'm just curious. I have a friend whose parents were Holocaust survivors, and I know you probably know her. I'm not going to say her name, but they wouldn't talk about it. And finally, she approached them about it later on when she was in college. I mean, she found out about what her dad had been through, and so then it became something that she understood and that they'd been through. So, I mean, have you actually? They're kind of young yet. Have you actually talked to them about what you went through?
Yeah, we tried to talk to them a little bit about it, but we try to do it carefully because we have to talk about it anyway because they are asking us, where are the aunties, where are the uncles, where are the grandparents? So they are the ones who come towards us asking questions, and we have to tell them, your grandparents have been killed in the genocide, and they are asking, what was the genocide about, how was it like, and we tell them, it's not something you need to learn now. It's really, really powerful.
That's good. Don't learn it now.
Don't learn it now. It wasn't supposed to happen. All we know is that, they didn't go through, a good time when they were being threatened to be Tutsis to the point they got killed. But we are doing everything we can to bring, awareness of this atrocity, but also to help community heal and to be a voice of the voiceless, to help those who went through this traumatic event. So that's the way we discuss this issue with them.
With your children?
Yes.
So I have two questions. One, how long were you hiding before you and your sister went to your uncle's house? And then when you got there was a surprise for you.
It took us 3 months to hide.
3 months.
3 months. I don't have a track of time.
Yes.
I don't even know how we did this. Because it was really, really hard. And I remember my grandmother, my father's mother, she was still alive.
Oh.
She was left to die by sorrow. So they said, we don't want to kill her. We won't touch her. She's going to die. Just to know everybody she loved and she used to have died. So they didn't kill her. She died of heartbreak.
Oh.
So she knew I was alive and she wanted to see me. And I was excited to go see
Oh.
her. So my aunt said, one moment you step out, they're going to kill you. They know you're still here and they want to kill you. And you're the only kid of my sister who is surviving. And I really, really would die if you die. Please don't go anywhere. They're going to kill you. They said, I want to see her. She said, please don't, because they're waiting for you. So we hid for 100 days, and it took us 3 days for our uncle to come and get us. I remember the time we got to his house, it was really good, and I would see a new life, a fresh life starting, and I was happy. And I remember by the time we survived, I remembered my younger sister, who later would be a surprise. I prayed, I said, Lord, I know we used to fight. I really regret. I wish I can see her.
No more fights.
No more fights. Siblings, no, I love you.
Yes, but I loved her. I wish I was nice to her, and I wish I can see her and apologize. I didn't know I would see her one time. And there is a time we were attending a party, and someone had a picture going around. She would say, does anybody know this little girl? And she was changed. She was living in Europe. I was in Rwanda. She changed. And I said, I think I know her. I think she's my sister. So I started.
That's beautiful.
Yes. And I said, I think it's her. And everybody said, no, it's not her. I said, I know.
Yes.
Yeah. And they went to my grandmother, who was still alive. They said, do you know this kid? Because we think you may know her. And she said, she's my granddaughter. She's my daughter's daughter. Where is she? So they told her she's in Italy. And they said, if we have enough, conviction that this is her, we're going to bring her over. And I remember at that time, I've been told, I didn't know, that the president, our president, actual president, said all the kids who went to other countries, trying to find refuge and
Refuge.
Yeah, yes, and some of them have been adopted. I want them to come back to the country.
Wow. Just an amazing story, and God has helped or has used your pain to help others. You worked at your neighborhood genocide memorial center for a while. That was still in Rwanda, right?
Right.
So can you share about your work there and what you did?
Yes, so right after graduating in college, I went to the genocide memorial to kind of volunteer because I felt like a survivor. I have a responsibility to bring awareness of the genocide, and I wanted to be able to use my voice to share my story. And I started with volunteering, helping, guests. We had so many people who were coming to the country to learn, to help and everything. That's how I ended up at the genocide memorial. And I later found out that, so much work had to get done, and it was our task, survivors, to do it. So that's how I went to this genocide memorial, and I really loved to work there because it brought some healing to me, but also I was able to focus and to think, how am I gonna deal with this pain, and how am I going to live a life with the purpose after surviving, and who am I going to be? who am I going to become, and who did my parent wanted me to be. So I had the time to focus and to meditate about, the love of the parent and everything. So it was a really, really important time in my life, and I'm so grateful that I had a chance to be at this memorial, because that's when things made sense in my life.
Well, what's so wonderful is that you felt like, I have a voice, I need to tell people about it.
Yeah.
And that's the purpose.
Yes,
You said,
yes.
I wanted my parents, what did my parents, how did they want me to live my life?
Yeah.
And I feel like you're doing that. You're
Thank
voicing
you.
it, you're sharing this and helping people. Well, then you met your husband,
I did.
Eric, and he had many family members pass away too, so it must be comfortable or comfort to you that you have similar backgrounds, you can support each other. And you want to explain a little bit about your husband and just how y'all have been able to work together and help each other.
Yeah, thank you. So I met him, of course, working at this Genocide Memorial. That's where all my blessings had to come through. So I was working at this Genocide Memorial. He was living in the US. We didn't know each other. So he came to see my boss. I had to, to receive him at his office and tell him to wait. The boss is busy. And so we happened to talk, and he knew the work that I was doing, which is commemorations and awareness of the genocide. And we stayed in touch as friends, but I also knew that he lost his parents in the genocide with siblings.
Okay.
But he was living in Congo because his parents had to send him to Congo because they knew something was going to happen at some point.
Wow, so he was saved.
He only was saved because he was there. And we started to talk, and after we got married.
Yeah.
Yes, and
You can leave some of the detail out. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, some of the details are in the book. And so we got married. He came back. So we met in 2009, and we got married in 2012. So he's the one who came back because I was in Rwanda and he was living in Utah.
Okay.
In 2013, beginning of 2013, I was able to join him, and we stayed there for a short period of time, and he introduced me to the Jewish community in Utah. He is the one who introduced me to the Jewish community in Utah. He started to tell me, so we went through the genocide, but also you have to learn about the Holocaust.
The Holocaust.
Holocaust survivors went through horrible time during the Holocaust. And this started to make sense to me. Holocaust education. We share pain with Holocaust
you
survivors.
do.
And anti-Semitism was a main point we were all the time focusing on. As survivors, we have to go through hardships, but also, why would anyone from a Jewish, community suffer because of this hatred that never ends?
It never ends.
Never ends, never ends. And it's always, rising. There is no break, if I would say. And that's how we got committed to talk about this hatred going on. And Holocaust education, because so many people knew about this, Holocaust that took place, long before our genocide. And then that's how, I started to learn anti-Semitism and Holocaust with him,
Right.
because we knew about the genocide.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we do this work together also.
Yes, so of course that's my heart too, to fight anti-Semitism and Holocaust denial and all that. And that's where we connected at the ISGAP Anti-Semitism Institute. Now you're teaching people about genocide here in the United States. You founded the Kabiho Niza Initiative,
Yes.
and you're a real estate agent now. So
Yeah.
we're out of time, and I hate that. You were also appointed by Texas Governor Greg Abbott to the Texas Holocaust Genocide and Anti-Semitism Advisory Commission, and that commission provides resources related to and coordinates events around the state commemorating the Holocaust and other genocides.
Yes.
And so thank you for being on Pop Talk Providence and for all the work that you're doing. And obviously the Lord has helped you and healed you so that you can speak about this and help others. And so we want to mention your book again. Your book is called Next Couple Hours. And if you want to reach out to Providence and donate to her work, you can go to her website, which uses her married name. Okay, so here it is, Providence Umugwaneza.org. And I'm going to spell Kurunziza for you, Kurunziza.org.
And we would love for you to reach out to us here at Pearls of Promise Ministries. And you can reach us at info@pearlsofpromiseministries.com. You can like us on Facebook at Pearls of Promise Ministries. Follow us on X at Pop Talk Media or at Pearls of Promise, or on Instagram at Pop_Ministries.
And thanks to our 26 television and radio platforms and the great production team from Grace Point Media. For all of your media needs, go to gracepoint.media. So that's our program for today. Thanks for watching. We're just ordinary girls.
So God turned into pearls. We'll see you next time.